So for our fourth project here, what we are going to learn how to do is how to work with filters to create these kind of neat stylized portraits for whatever person you ultimately choose to do. Pretty easy project, a little bit different than what we typically do in graphic arts, but I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
All right, so as always, we are going to continue working in Pixlr, and you guys want to be using the Pixlr E. We're going to create a new document, and what you guys should name this is Portrait, and Portrait is P-O-R-T-R-A-I-T. Then we're going to kind of flip-flop our width and height from what we've been working on for the past couple projects. Our width for this is going to be 1600, and our height is going to be 2100. And when we have all that set up, we're going to go ahead and hit create. Now, the first thing that you guys want to do is find a picture of a person who you would like to do for this project. Okay, and basically we're just going to use the same photo and we're going to duplicate it a few times. And this person can be anyone you want. It could be your favorite actor or actress. It could be your favorite musician. It could be your favorite athlete. I know we just had the NFL draft, so maybe it's a new player who you're excited about playing for your favorite team. It can even be a picture of you if you guys would like to do it. However you want to do it, it's totally up to you guys. I'm cool with whatever. Now, my wife and I have been watching a lot of Parks and Rec. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but it's a wonderful show. So I'm going to do Chris Pratt here. I've already found a picture of him. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin by shrinking this image down. Now, as I said before, we're going to end up doing 9 versions of our person, so we need to make a few duplicates of this. Now, to do that, I don't have to continue pasting this image and resizing it. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to right-click my layer over here in my layer menu, and I'm going to come down here where I have these 2 little squares. That option says duplicate layer, and that's what I want. I want to duplicate this layer. Boop. And it's going to put a direct copy right on top of my last picture. I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. I can kind of resize them so that you got a nice little fit across the top here. They're all about the same size image. See if it'll let me. Of course it won't let me select multiples at once. See, just another example of why Photoshop is infinitely better. But anyway, so I'll fast forward this when I go to make it into a movie. I'll duplicate this. And we want 9 of them. All right, so now that I have my 9 pictures here, I'm going to begin tinkering with each one individually. And we're going to add what we call filters. Now, most of you guys are kind of familiar with doing something like this. I'm sure a lot of you have tinkered with photos on your own phone, or you have Instagram or something like this. So some of this may come as kind of something that looks similar to you in that regard. But nonetheless, I want to show you how to add photos with Pixlr, or how to add filters, excuse me, with Pixlr. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here to this option that says filter, and there's a bunch of them here, and I'll go through a little bit about what some of these different ones do, but a lot of this project is going to be kind of exploratory and for you all to experiment with different options. But what I want to show you is right here, the effect library. Now, the effect library has lots of different options, and within each of these options, you'll see that it'll pull up different versions of it. So if I were to pick something like this here and hit apply, not only is it going to change the coloring, but I can continue to change that coloring as well. And if I wanted to continue changing it, I could do adjustments on it, just like how we did for our window to another world. So I could adjust color balances, and I could tinker with the amounts of colors within it. I could do hue and saturation, and messing with the hue changes the overall color scheme, and messing with the saturation changes the amount of colors that I would see in it. And basically what I want you guys to do is I want you to click on each different image, and each different image of your person, what I want you to do is to add a different filter to it. Most of them you'll find in your effect library. Let's go do like a very Warhol looking adjustment on this. Yeah, keep playing with it here. Outside of your effect library, a lot of these are just effects that you can add to it. For instance, Gaussian blur. This would blur your image. Sharpening your image will sharpen it. Inner and outer glows will do exactly what they sound like. They'll make it look like your whole image is glowing. Pixelate, it'll make it look like it's kind of, like 8-bit, kind of like old school. Like if I were to pixelate it, watch, crank this up. Get like that old school kind of retro game look to it. What else is there? Drop shadows would make a shadow coming off your image. Mosaic makes it look like it's made out of like tiles. So all sorts of different fun effects that you guys can add. All I want you to do is just each different image, just go ahead and click on, add a different filter to it so that you've experimented with 9 different ones. And at that point, you guys will save and submit.